You guys ready to bring up? Not yet. Yes, we are. James Stevenson. Here we go. Come on.
As a little boy, Christmas was my favorite time of year. I used to love to just sit at the base of the Christmas tree with the Christmas lights on. They were the only ones. So the glow and the shadow of the pine needles on the wall and the ceiling, and they would make this magical glow on the presents underneath the tree. I used to love to take the presents out from under the tree and feel them all and then rearrange them and put them back again. And it was always exciting when a new present showed up under the tree, especially if it had my name on it. But there was one present that was particularly amazing. As a little boy, it was a $25 gift certificate to J.C. Penney's from my dad. I mean, that was like winning the lottery. It's not possible for a 7-year-old boy to spend $25 in 1972. The worst part was I had to wait for Christmas to be over because the store was closed. So the day after, Mom and my older siblings would take me downtown and I'd go on my shopping spree and I'd have to choose between the giant stuffed animal or the big mechanical hockey game until I realized I could have them both and I'd still get change back. It was that amazing. But in this whole process, there was one thing that was missing. It was my dad's hand to hold as I went on that shopping spree. It was his voice helping me choose between the stuffed lion and the stuffed alligator. You see, my parents were separated before I was even born, and they were divorced by the time I was 2. In the 1960s, that was the rare exception. Unfortunately, today, it's almost the norm. You know, there's some unique things about being raised as a little boy in a home with no dad. The first time I went to a public restroom by myself, guess where I went? I went into the women's bathroom because that's where Mom always took me. Until the little girl in the stall next to me said, "You're not supposed to be in here." When I first looked a urinal in the face, I couldn't figure out what that was. How can I wash my hands in that sink if I can't reach the handle of the toilet? And all of those challenges are not just for the boys, by the way. How many single moms do we have in the room tonight? A few. Can I take a moment and just honor you? As an adult man raised the youngest of 5 by a mother, by herself, in the 60s and 70s, I know that you got where you are after a journey of much pain and heartbreak. I want to encourage you to hang on. Even in your darkest nights, you are still the brightest light to your children. Don't ever let that light stop shining. It was my good fortune as a little boy to be taken under the wing of a man by the name of Mark Gould. Mark was a neighbor of ours, and he let me come into his home. I learned about football watching it on his big screen color TV, and I'd eat his food. When I needed to fix my mom's car, I didn't know how to do that. He came over to our house and helped me fix the brakes. When he learned I wanted to go to a particular rock concert, he looked at me and he said, "Jimmy, if you go to that rock concert, I'm going to come down there, I'm going to find you, I'm going to drag you out of there, and I'm going to kick your butt all the way home." Mark wasn't a fan of the rock group Kiss. But he was my fan. Mark could not have communicated love to me any better than telling me he would kick my butt all the way home. I would like to invite each of you to think of a boy that you know of between the ages of 8 and 18 that faces challenges in his upbringing. I want you to decide right now that you are going to take an interest in his life. I'd like you to put his name in your calendar, and not just once, but on a recurring basis. When you do that, you can change the direction of that boy's life forever. And if you do, you may change the direction of the world.